All right, everybody. Anybody that's tuning in, gonna tap in. Appreciate y'all. Hope everybody's doing good today. Just got off another shift. It's a great day to be alive. Every day is a great day to be alive. Don't forget that. Don't forget that the key to a fulfilled life truly is gratitude. I mean that because I think so many times that I've been in a situation where I kind of felt like I felt like everything was going not my way. I would quickly start to think of the things I have to be grateful for, and usually that would take me to a place of where I would figure out that, you know what, whatever the situation is, I can fix it, and there is a ton of people, millions, billions of people that are in a worse situation than I am. So for me to sit here and complain and be upset that things aren't going my way, that there's not enough money in the account to take care of something that needs to be taken care of then and there, that somebody might be upset with me because I wasn't able to make it to whatever it was that they thought was important for me to show up to. You know, all these things, they, as big as they may seem in the moment, once you give yourself a little clarity, a little gratitude, you quickly start to see a lot of these things that you're stressing out about. You tend to see them disappear. So if you're going through a hard time right now, we're approaching New Year's in one day, and a lot of people like to make New Year's resolution that they're going to change and become somebody new the moment the clock strikes 12, the moment that it's a new year, it's a new you. And the truth is, if you don't learn how to become grateful for the things you have in your life now, there's a good chance that even if things get better, you're going to find a reason to not be happy, not be content. So the best thing I can tell anybody that's looking to transform is just do it. Just do it now. Just do whatever you can do with what you got. Be resourceful with whatever's around you. Look for the love from the people that you have closest to you and use that as your fuel. Because at the end of the day, whether we realize it or not, we're all essentially these fields of energy, of vibration, walking around in meat suits. Let's see. Hi, I didn't go see my family for Christmas or Thanksgiving. We all live in the same town. Ryan Clark. I didn't go see my family. And is there a reason why, Ryan, you didn't go see your family? Is that because you guys are upset, or because everyone's too busy, or what exactly is your reason for not going to visit? Is that something that's bothering you? Is it something that you were expected to show up, or is it something where you constantly show up and you decided this year that, you know what, you're going to do what's best for you? Because I think a lot of times people tend to make decisions based off what other people will judge you for, as opposed to what's best for you. So again, Ryan, I don't know your situation. Let's see. Bad blood between my brother and mom. Let's see. And I am driving, so probably not a great idea. And I recently... Okay, well, let's see. There's bad blood between your brother and your mom. Well, the first thing I can tell you, and I'm telling you from a place of experience, not from my direct family, but somebody very close to me, which is if there's bad blood there, the best thing I can recommend you to do is not pick sides. And I mean that not just from showing up for New Year's, but literally to not be someone that's gonna cater to what one person in your family is saying and then cater completely different to another, because now you're not helping the situation. You're actually making it further. It's not your responsibility to fix it. That's the honest truth. But you do also have to have an awareness that you don't want to get dragged into whatever this bad blood is between them. And you know, there's a story that the person that dealt with this that I gave to them. That's the best thing I can tell for somebody that's in situations similar to yours, which is there's a very famous story about a egg, carrot, and coffee bean. And the way the story goes like this: there's a very wise man talking to a young boy, and he's explaining to him that when an egg is in its natural state, it's very delicate, can break very easily. However, when you put it into boiling water, it turns hard. You don't want to be like the egg. You don't want your situation, your bad situation, to turn you into something hard that can't allow goodness to come in. The carrot by its nature is actually very hard, very dense. You put it in hot water and boiling water, it becomes soft, smushy. You don't want to be like the carrot. You don't want your situation to then turn you into someone that's a pushover, into someone that's constantly trying to please people, sacrificing your own happiness for others because you don't want them to get mad at you. There's plenty of people like that. The coffee bean. Well, the coffee bean, when you drop it into boiling water, what does it do? It changes the water. It changes its environment. And that's really what it sounds like your goal, Ryan, needs to be here, which is, what, again, I don't know your situation, but whatever bad blood may be between them, if this is your mom and your brother, I would like to think that there is something there that can bring them back to and again, I could be wrong. I don't know you. I don't know your family. But because I have daughters and because of what I saw from the extended family that I'm telling you about, I could never imagine one day where I would allow my kids to be mad at me and me not try to make sure that got corrected. So whatever the situation may be, it sounds to me, Ryan, that the best thing you can do is not pick sides. And if it's something that you feel very strongly about, that you want to fix this crack in your family, which is you can come at both of them from a place of love, from a place of letting them know that of regret, because I've known many people that had some sort of disagreement with family members, chance to make up with them, and they had to then live with that. And that, truthfully, I've seen people unfortunately get dragged down by that, and there's almost nothing that they felt that they can do, because once that person is gone, they're gone forever. So, you know, that's the best thing I can tell you, Ryan, is just, like I said, come at them from a place of love. Let them know you love them, and if they see how you're able to not let the situation make you feel like you need to antagonize it even more, but instead still find the goodness in it, you'll be the coffee bean in their situation. So we'll leave it at that. I've been the verbal punching bag by them my whole life, so I'm taking care of me now. I've had peace and quiet for about 6 months now, and things are actually better in my life. And the pushover, so I don't make myself present to be put down. Thank you. Okay, well, you know what, Ryan? If that's the case, then that's wonderful. Again, that was the other side of it, which I wasn't sure what the situation was. But if that is the case, then the other thing I always tell people is that doesn't mean you don't love them, but there's certain people you just have to love from a distance. I'll love you, but I'm gonna love you from over here because I don't like how I feel. I don't like how I act when I'm around you. I get that. I've been there, and I have somebody very close to me that has gone through that. So that's great, Ryan. I'm very happy to see that. I hope you're taking care of your mental health. I hope you're taking care of your physical health, and I hope you're taking care of your spiritual self. It sounds like you are. If you're actually putting yourself first, which it sounds like it's something that's new. Just protect your mind. Protect what your eyes and you see, what your eyes and your ears see and hear, and most importantly, be aware of what comes out of your mouth and what you say and how you speak about yourself. Because people that tend to see themselves as somebody who's been a punching bag, so to speak, it's usually something in their subconscious where they've unfortunately have allowed it for so long that they almost have a hard time allowing themselves to now live in this new life, this new persona that they have. So don't make myself present to be put down. Okay, so there. All right, Ryan. Well, you know what? I want to thank you for those questions. It really means a lot for me that you reached out. And again, I hope you have a happy New Year. I don't know your mom and your brother, but the same goes for them. I'm glad you're not allowing yourself to be put down, to take care of yourself, because at the end of the day, one of the things I had to realize in my own transformation years ago was that no one is going to come fix things for me. No one's going to come save me. People are going to have good intentions, but at the end of the day, if I'm not willing to show up for myself and to keep the promises that I make to myself, that I won't allow people to talk to me a certain way or to treat me as a punching bag, as you said, then it's nothing's ever going to change. That's just the truth. Unfortunately, most people tend to wait and hope that playing the victim game will eventually have a payoff to where someone will come and fix all the problems for them. And before they know it, they've wasted most of their lives being someone that they're not, because they were just so set in this program that, and a lot of times it's programming that comes from childhood. There's scientific fact behind the idea that a child up until 7 is just literally just absorbing and programming their subconscious, and after 7 we run on a 95% subconscious habits on a daily basis. So anybody that's looking to change, to transform, I always say the first place you need to really start looking at is, where is your awareness in the situations that lead up to you being or doing something that you don't want to do anymore? Because a lot of times it's not so much that we're all of a sudden, drinking, doing drugs, whatever it is, overeating. A lot of times it's because of an event that happened that triggered us, that made us upset, that made us feel some sort of negative feeling. And because we run on our subconscious programming, it's not even a question of how we're going to resolve this. We go and we engage in destructive habits. So the way you're able to start your transformation, your true transformation, is not on the outside. It's not by changing your physical appearance. It's not by changing your bank account. It's not by changing where you live, where you work. All these things are great ways to further push your transformation out and speed it up even. But the truth is, if you're not aware of what's going on up here, any change you make is not going to stick. I'm sorry to say it, but that's just the way it goes. Your subconscious basically is the best example I can give is a thermostat. If you're ever at home and you've got your thermostat set to 72 and the temperature inside your house starts to heat up, 74, 75, what happens? You hear the AC kick on, and all of a sudden your house gets cooled back down. The thermostat regulates the temperature back down to 72, to the program temperature of 72. The same thing happens to us when we try to make some sort of change, but we're not focused on our mindset, which is we'll make a change because we know what we need to do. We've seen the videos. We'll even take courses. But the reality is, if we don't change how we see our thoughts first and recognize when our thoughts are beginning to work against us, then it's going to be a matter of time before any sort of effort that you've made, any sort of changes that you've got, any sort of momentum you've had, it's gonna get killed right away, because your internal thermostat is gonna eventually kick in. And if you don't know that you need to constantly be programming your thermostat and increasing that heat little by little, and that way every time your thermostat kicks in and tries to bring you down, you're gonna go right back to where you started. I'm telling you, as somebody who decided to stop drinking at 21. Yes, at 21 was when I said, okay, I think I can give up drinking now. I'd been drinking since I was 16, got a fake ID at 18, and at 21, I said, I don't want to continue what my family legacy has been on both sides, which is just alcoholism. And the truth is, I was 37 when I finally was able to figure out how to overcome my drinking. That's 16 years of constantly failing, of trying and failing. Why? Because I wasn't aware of my internal thermostat. Because any momentum that I would get, all it would take is one thought to come in to make me feel like no matter what I did, I was destined to be an alcoholic, because that's all I knew. That's all I ever saw as a kid. That was my programming. Alcohol was my programming. My first memory as a child, and this is not an exaggeration. My first memory was going into a bar to look for my dad, and I can still remember this very vividly. Him slumped over on a stool, and me going in there and tugging on his jacket, which, crazily enough, I'm realizing right now, was a jacket that was very similar to this, and this is my first time wearing this jacket. This was a Christmas gift from my mother-in-law. I love this jacket, but it just came to me right now, so I'm telling you guys. I remember this. I don't remember anything after that, but I do remember this being my childhood. My mom waking us up in the middle of the night and then having to go out to the bars to look for my dad, so make sure he got home. And that was the start of my life. And it just got worse from there. The things I saw, like I said, I started drinking. The first time I got hammered was on my 16th birthday. And after that, was all I ever wanted to do. So what that was where my thermostat was set at. And when I was able to understand a few things, and I'm going to explain one major one that changed everything for me, because I don't want to miss out on this opportunity to tell anybody that's watching this, which is at 30 I hit rock bottom. I won't go through what it was, but at 30 was when there was a seed planted in me that came in the form of a YouTube video, watching Eric Thomas give the story about a guru. If anybody's seen it, I recommend you check it out. But I discovered personal development at 30, and even when I found it, I remember thinking, this is very interesting, but it's not for me. There's no way that these people that they're talking about apply to me somehow. They don't know me, they don't know my life, they don't know that there's no way this is never going to be me, as much as I didn't want it to be. But you know what? That seed grew, and I was able to nourish that seed by constantly binging out on watching different YouTube. I don't know if they were called podcasts at that time, but YouTube shows where specifically, I'll tell you, The Passionate Few with Omar Elitari. I might be saying his last name wrong. I'm sorry, Omar. If you ever see this, I hope you do, because you changed my life so much. And a lot of his earliest interviews were with a young Grant Cardone, Ed Milet. I don't remember the guy's name, but the guy that started Patron. A lot of these stories I would sit there and watch while I was at work, at an office job that I hated. But again, things were happening. My thermostat was slowly being worked on. I hadn't changed it yet, but it was being worked on. There was new features being added onto it. And every time that I tried to stop drinking and I thought I got it, something would happen, kick me right back down to where I started. And I'll just make a super long story, maybe a little bit shorter, which is I watched an episode of Impact Theory with Tom Bilyeu, another amazing podcast, especially in its early years, because in its early years it was very focused on personal development, and entrepreneurship, and a lot of the guests he had